Hi YouTubers, it's Evan X video video now. So it's gonna be interesting topic right now. So interesting topic as of December 1st, 2020. So freaking cool. So anyway, discuss based right now food allergies. Now, as everyone knows, I have a allergy to gluten. So I have celiac disease, and that is a allergy or intolerance to wheat, barley, and rye. So I want to talk about right now food allergies such as peanut allergies, soy allergies, gluten allergies, celiac disease, and why most people care if there's potential exposure to the allergen. Now, disclaimer, I am not a damn doctor, so do not take this as freaking medical advice. This is not professional medical advice. I am not a doctor. This is purely general information from a person who has lived gluten free for going on 4 years. So, not professional medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nurse. This is This is simply general information. That's my freaking disclaimer. Anyway, so basically, I want to talk about why most people care if they are potentially exposed to the allergen. And the reason why most people care, and this is actually kind of surprising, is it's not necessarily because of the long-term effects, it's actually more due to the short-term effects. For people with celiac disease, it's actually very important they follow a gluten-free diet because long-term, there can be serious complications. There can be potential cancer, there could be potential injury to the gut, there can be, osteoporosis, infertility, many serious health complications. So it's very important if you have celiac disease, you follow a gluten-free diet. Obviously, I'm not a doctor for the last damn time. So that's the first reason. However, most people who are celiac and most people who have food allergies don't care as much when they're eating the food in terms of the long-term effects. And by that I mean, I'm not saying people don't care about themselves. Like, obviously, most people, care about their life expectancy. Most people care about, potential, long-term complications. But when they're eating the food, whether it's a gluten-free pizza that's prepared in a shared common kitchen area with potential exposure, the reason why most people care is because of the short-term effects, the allergen reaction. By that I mean, when people are exposed to an allergen, most people who have food allergies will have not only a potential long-term effect, they will also have a short-term effect, which is they feel really, really, really sick. So that's why most places, like most stores, restaurants, bars, most food joints, most grocery stores will say, you understand, we cannot guarantee this to be gluten-free, peanut-free, soy-free, dairy-free, allergen freaking free, because most people care about, well, I don't want to feel really sick. I don't want to spend the night in the bathroom throwing up. And there are some people who have more mild allergies. Like, for example, there are people who have a very mild gluten allergy who are not celiac. And for those people, it might just be they get like a really upset stomach. So they may just kind of feel like shit afterwards. And it's like, they don't really want to feel like crap. It's like, and that's the reason why, they're careful when eating it, even though it won't do internal damage. They don't want to feel like absolute crap, like bull crap afterwards. Because honestly, I mean, what person wants to spend the night in the bathroom throwing up and feeling all sick and woozy? I mean, and also some people with celiac disease get a really bad rash. Some people with like peanut allergies get hives, trouble breathing. That's why most people care, is the short-term effects, like the cramping, the bloating, the pain. That's initially what you worry about first. I'm somebody who's lucky and fortunate enough that I'm asymptomatic celiac and I don't have any symptoms. However, I have to be very careful, actually, even more careful, even more fucking careful, because for people with asymptomatic celiac, they don't know they're being exposed to the allergen, so I have to be very, very, very careful that I'm not being exposed to it. Because for me, the only risk is long-term damage. To sum it all up in brief, to put it in English, not whatever, to sum this conversation up, basically most people with food allergies care more about feeling sick afterwards than they do about the long-term effects. It's not to say they don't care about the long-term effects. It's more they're more worried about like how they're going to feel afterwards, especially people who are not celiac, especially people who have a very mild or moderate allergy or intolerance or sensitivity. They just don't want to feel like absolute, crap all night long. So I think that's pretty understandable, because what person wants to go home and feel like absolute crap and be lying in your bed with a super bad stomach ache? It's like, and that's why most grocery stores will say, that we cannot guarantee this to be allergen free, is because they don't want somebody coming back to them and saying, you gave me peanut, soy, whatever, that kind of crap, and I felt like absolute shit afterwards. I feel like absolute crap afterwards, and now I want to sue you because I feel like absolute crap. It's not so much that a grocery store or a restaurant is worried about, 20 years from now, you're going to come back and sue them because you have intestinal cancer. It's more that they're worried, you're going to say, well, I went home after eating that gluten-free sub that was prepared in your shared kitchen area, and I felt like absolute crap. My stomach was aching, I was vomiting, I felt like absolute crap, bull crap. So that's the reason most people care. Most people are thinking about initially the short-term effects, then the long-term effects. Anyway, it makes sense. Big Oscar of Life, pretty freaking cool. Bye.